This is Alexandra Levin. We're here at the 30th California Women's Conference of 2017, and I am here with Sam Morris. Sam, tell us who you are and tell us a little bit of your story.
Thank you, Alexandra. My name is Sam Morris, as you just said, and I'm the founder of Zen Warrior Training. What I help people to do is conquer their challenges by tapping into their presence, really finding the authentic truth and the vitality that's inside them, and the ability to overcome anything if they are tapped into their center, tapped into their truth, not in their thoughts, but really connected to themselves.
Not in their head, but in their presence. It's great you bring that up. Presence is one of the embraces that we are sharing with people in the Back 40.
Oh,
so tell us about that. Tell us, when you say in the presence, what does that mean for you? Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, your presence is a fully embodied experience. It's where I'm connected to my breath, I'm connected to my body, I'm connected to the earth, I'm feeling safe inside myself, I'm feeling connected to my essential being, essentially, like my pure core essence of who I really am. And rather than my thoughts about myself, a lot of people identify with themselves in a way where they're creating stories inside their head about who they are and why they are the way they are. And especially when challenges come up, that can really overactivate the imagination, and the mind can create all sorts of stories about who we are and what's going on in our lives that isn't really connected to our core essence and our core truth. So my work is all about helping people restore that connection to their core essence and their presence so that they can live from that place, and then your thoughts can learn to get on board with your presence, with what you truly desire, as opposed to doing their own thing and going off on their own tangents.
So getting really authentic and really clear about who you are.
Yes.
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 So how did that happen for you? How did you realize that that's the way to go?
Well, a long time ago, back in high school even, I started to have these awakening experiences where I became aware that I was not the thoughts in my head.
Really?
Yeah, way back in high school. And I started to feel a connection with nature, which was very profound. And then when I was 24 years old, I was in a car accident. I had just finished leading a bicycling journey across the United States for 9 teenagers. It was a 4,000-mile long bike journey. We camped every night. We cooked all our own food. And I had just finished that. I was an avid athlete. I was an expert skier and snowboarder. And 24 years old, I was in a car accident caused by a drunk driver, which left me paraplegic. And so I went through a lot of trauma, a lot of shock, and more importantly, an identity crisis, because I related to myself as this guy who was this young, vital athlete who bicycled for a profession and who skied and snowboarded, and that was really how I identified. I didn't know what to do with myself post-injury, so I had this direct experience of feeling dissociated from my essence. And over years of healing and learning meditation, breath work, and movement training, I eventually came back into myself in a new way. And now I'm constantly working on bringing myself back into myself more and more and more, healing any kind of last little remaining trauma that's inside me, and living life with pure vitality and joy, which is how we all deserve to live. And since I've gotten so used to doing that myself, I created a program to help other people to transform their own challenges and tap into the presence that's beneath the challenges, that's able to overcome anything.
Yeah. That is just so inspiring. Oh, think about it. First, we realize we're really not the thoughts in our head. And how many of us go through life thinking, we're our hair, we're our body, we're our clothes, we're our cars, right? We so associate with it when something happens and we don't have it, we literally forget who we really are.
Yeah.
Because we may not have ever gotten in touch with who we really, really are.
Right.
So first, be knowing at such an early age that you are not your thoughts. And then really having to realize that who you really are is not your body and not the young, fit guy or fit in a particular kind of picture that you saw fit.
Right.
And then really digging and creating and finding who you really, really are.
Right. Yeah. It took a lot of digging. Took a lot of digging, a lot of exploration. Yeah.
I bet. And to have that and to now be inspiring others. To find that within themselves.
Yeah.
And
that's what I love to do. It feeds me so much when I can help someone else to overcome their own thought processes and realize, whoa, I'm not all of these thoughts. I am so much more vast than all of these thoughts. I'm this consciousness, I'm this pure energy, I'm this presence. That's who I really am. When I can help people to tap into that and then transform their unique challenges through that awareness, there's nothing more gratifying for me.
No, and you know what? It clearly shines through who you are. Just sitting here in a conversation with you, it is clear you know who you are. You're clear, you're centered, and you're committed to making the difference.
Yes.
And that is enlivening and inspiring, and more enlivening and inspiring than anything else.
Well, thank you, Alexandra.
Yes, and you ski, so tell us about it, and I've heard you ski, so tell us about that.
I used to actually teach adaptive skiing.
Wow, where?
Telluride, Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I grew up skiing. I started skiing when I was 3 years old. My mom used to take me out of nursery school to go skiing.
Did you go in one of those veggie things?
No.
None of that for you.
Never had one of those. And then when I was about 10 or 11, I started snowboarding, and I was an avid snowboarder for years. And when my injury happened, I had no idea. I'd never even thought about living life as a paraplegic before. It never even crossed my mind.
Of course.
And so I had no idea what was going to be possible. But then I discovered adaptive skiing, sit skiing, otherwise known as monoskiing, where you have one ski, and there's a metal frame above the ski, and then a shock absorber underneath you, and you sit above the ski. And you can do everything you can on a normal pair of skis. And it's really, really fun. And so it took me a number of years to learn how to do it well, because it was like an entirely different sport than when I was up on my feet and skiing able-bodied. So there was a lot to adapt to, but once I adapted to it, I really fell in love with it.
And skiing is such an amazing, I'm a skier. I haven't been raised a skier, I've become a skier. And it's just such an amazing feeling of freedom going down the slope.
Isn't it?
And to have that, to have whatever happened not limiting you from having that experience.
Yeah, it's such a rush. Yeah, when I can leave my wheelchair behind at the bottom of the hill and just get out into my ski and spend, a few hours just out on the mountain in my ski, it's just awesome. Suddenly I'm flying by all of these able-bodied skiers, 50 miles an hour down the hill and just having a blast. And meanwhile, my wheelchair is just waiting for me back at the bottom of the hill, and yeah, it's so nice to have those brief breaks.
And your eyes light up.
Oh yeah.
Right now.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. Just talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And that is just so amazing to hear that anybody, no matter what has happened in the past, at whatever age, and it's devastating, and it took time, and it did take effort and consciousness and work and mind control to get where we are. It doesn't just happen on its own.
Yes.
And yet it does happen, and it is possible.
Yes.
So you can enjoy your life. You can enjoy everything you love about life. Skiing.
It just involves training, whether it's your body, whether it's your mind. It's just training to come back to what you actually are, rather than thinking that your life is this sort of fixated, idea of yourself.
rather than being either constrained by anything or run by anything or controlled by your thoughts. You are in charge of your thoughts. Your thoughts are not in charge of you.
Your thoughts are really meant to be, they're meant to back up the direction that your soul decides. Not like your thoughts coming first and then deciding who I am. It's not like, no, I am who I am. I'm this presence. Let the thoughts get behind my presence.
That is just so inspiring.
Thank you.
So tell us, what did your first part of life teach you about what you are really here to do?
Well, it's interesting because the first, I would say, maybe third of my life, I experienced life in a way where I was, for the most part, very free, enjoyed my life, was really connected to my presence. And then, like I said, when I was 24, having that accident really took me away in a lot of ways from that experience of myself and into this experience of trauma and dissociation. And I still felt my presence, but I didn't feel really grounded in my presence. I knew it was there, but I went through a lot of depression and anxiety and stuff like that as a result. Spent over 3 years of my life bedridden, 2 of which were in hospitals. And going through all of that, which lasted years and years, helped me to understand the nature of neuroplasticity, like how our consciousness shapes around whatever experience we're having. And I realized that I couldn't let my circumstances define me if I wanted to be truly happy. I couldn't look at my life as a set of circumstances and say, okay, well, this is who I am because this is what I'm going through. I had to instead look at, okay, this is who I am, this is what I'm going through, and they're 2 very different things. And once I really realized that, and I began to hone that skill and awareness of seeing that and helping other people to see that in themselves, everything changed. So the second half of my life, I'm really very, very excited about, because I have this foundation that I've laid through understanding the nature of my own consciousness in such a profound way that I can just keep helping people to do the same for themselves.
So you have really learned, truly gotten for yourself, how to separate who you are and your consciousness from your circumstances, from the way your body might feel at the moment, from the way what the world around you looks like, and you're really a master.
Yeah, thank you. In fact, every feeling that your body has is an intelligent message being sent. But most people are not open to the feelings that they're having. And so then they get caught in their head about, why am I having this feeling? And then they react to the feeling, which then reinforces the feeling because it's not actually being listened to. Whereas if you really just learn how to open up to the feelings, you can start to sense your body's intelligence communicating to you in a way that's actually grounded in your true nature and not the thoughts in your head.
So then what I'm hearing, it's not, rather than reacting to the messages your body is sending, you can respond to it.
You can open.
You can hear, listen, and respond in a way that takes care of it.
Exactly.
Rather than resist it.
Exactly. The skill of receptivity is truly a skill. Being able to really receive yourself fully. Let yourself have every feeling that there is to have. Don't try to push away any feelings. And just stay grounded and centered while you're letting yourself receive everything that you're going through. It's amazing. Our bodies are communicating to us all of this incredible information all the time, but it happens in a silent way. It's not something that we can think about. It's a feeling sense. It's an experiential sense. And so part of what I'm here to do is to help people to learn how to tap into that and see how intelligent their bodies actually are.
So you've really learned to stand in and be aware of and really truly know who you really are. And you're here to teach people and empower people and have people learn how to do that for themselves.
That's correct.
And what better person to learn that from?
Yeah, thank you.
So tell people where they can find you.
Well, you can find me at zenwarriortraining.com, or you can follow me on social media. At ZW Training is my Twitter handle. At Zen Warrior Training is my Instagram. Facebook.com/Zen Warrior Training. There's all kinds of ways to follow me. And then, or you could also follow the Zen Warrior Training YouTube channel as well.
Wonderful. And I'm Alexandra with Back 40. You can find us at theback40.com. Thank you so much for your time here for sure, but also for who you really are and the contribution that you are, and the difference just you being here and you being present and you being willing to share your message and inspire others. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Alexandra.